Ladies and gentlemen, coming at you guys with another video on the channel, man. In today's video, we're going to be covering my initial thoughts. Call of Duty Black Ops 7, 3 weeks in, about to be a month, very soon here. I have many days, hours already played, and I'm here to share with you all my initial thoughts and what I think, covering all the bases, whether that's content wise, upon drop, maps, the whole 9 yards. So I'm gonna start off with maps, chat. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm gonna keep it 100 this whole video. I don't have no incentive from COD. I don't have any of that stuff. I'm not filtered in any way, shape, or form. So I'm gonna be giving you guys my raw opinion, genuine thoughts, genuine overview, right? The maps in this game on drop, I'd probably say 90% of them were a hit. And why I say about 90%? All of them, in my opinion, like I said, this whole video is in my opinion and what I think in my personal, obviously my personal thoughts, like I just said. So if you guys have, different views, different opinions on certain stuff, that's totally fine. I actually want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But just content-wise, all the maps that they've released upon drop, I'd say it's a good 90% of them were a hit. They all play great. I feel like they all have a different style to them, each one of them. And by the way, I'm referring to the ones that are new, right? The ones that are not remastered, the ones that they didn't bring back, like Hijacked here or Raid or anything like that, right? So these are just the new maps that they dropped. I feel as if though 90% of them were a hit. Given that the way that they play, given the way they were designed, and compared to previous years, I think that it was pretty creative, right? The way that they approached a lot of these maps and the way that they had put into thought the way that players were going to play, obviously, right? The way that Call of Duty flows, it's obviously way more fast-paced than back in the day. And even just in previous CODs too, I feel like all of this started the trend of fast-paced CODs and like Modern Warfare 3, Cold War type deals. So their way of adjusting and making these particular maps to fit that type of style, I feel this is what allowed them to have that success, right? Some of them they definitely did miss out on though. Some of them I feel as if though they were a fluke and they could have done way better on. But for the majority, for the most part, maps, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10 in terms of, again, like I said, the quality of them, the design, the flow, all those factors combined together. And like I said, this is not including these remastered maps like Hijacked, Raid, etc. Moving on to gameplay, gunplay, all that type of stuff. I think this gameplay is great, right? I think this gameplay is, considering, again, the way that the trend, the way that COD is going, and with all this very skilled players, right? And everyone basically, if you have played the game somewhat and you put a certain amount of time into the game, you're going to be good, right? It's inevitable, of course, right? If you spend a lot of time on one certain thing, you're gonna get good at it. And in particular with COD, and the way that they have structured movement, the way they have kind of established the franchise as it is now. I'll lose that gunfight, chat. Anyways, the way that they have structured the game now, everyone's basically going to be good if you play, right? And even if you're not, just the way that the game flows, I feel as if gives everyone a semi-level play. That makes sense, right? So the gunplay in the game, I feel is pretty much, I wouldn't say flawless, right? Obviously it has some things to it, some flaws that I would definitely tweak and adjust. For an example, the wall jumping, I just don't think this is useful, right? Being able to jump off of a wall like that, but not being able to wall run, I mean, it definitely adds a different style to the game. It definitely adds a different persona to it, I guess. But just that in general, I would definitely tweak. But other than that, the initial, like the main gunplay itself, and like I said, the way the game flows, I think it's really good. I think it's really good. I'd probably give gunplay a 9 out of 10, if I'm being honest with y'all. But moving on from there, I'd say let's talk about negatives next, right? The negatives with this game and what this game lacks and what they can improve on going forward, right? And one of them is going to be snipers in the flinch. Snipers in this game chat are insanely OP. When you engage in a gunfight with someone, right, and the other person has a sniper in their hands, or they have one of those marksman rifles, count it as if they know somewhat what they're doing, you're going to basically lose that gunfight. Whether you're at close range, whether you're at long range, you are practically going to be at a disadvantage, and here's why. They virtually have zero flinch, right? So when a sniper has zero flinch, or a marksman rifle has no flinch whatsoever, and let's say I, as a person obviously with an AR, and I'm challenging you, I'm basically going to lose no matter what, because their gun is one tap and my gun isn't, right? So that's definitely, I would say, probably one of the biggest negatives I've noticed in this game, gunplay wise, and also one of the things that they just failed to address, because they've had certain patches, they've had certain bug releases throughout the past couple weeks or so, and they have not tweaked snipers at all. Now they might do so in the next update. Here we're getting season 1 content drop tomorrow, December 4th, and I'm filming this currently on December 3rd. So December 4th, we are going to get the season 1 content drop, and that should be something that they're going to be addressing, because it's insanely OP, right? It's insanely OP, and as a person that is using these type of guns, and I'm having to face these people that again have zero flinch on their weapon, it's discouraging, right? Another negative, chat, that I would definitely address if I was Activision heading here into this next patch is SMGs. SMGs on release, if you are not using the Dravik, you are putting yourself at a heavy disadvantage, right? The Dravik is the only gun and arguably the most OP gun in this game. And if you are not using that gun, you are like heavily mistaken. And look at chat, this is a prime example of what I'm talking about here, right? Marksman rifle, cool, 2 shots, whatever. But if I'm shooting you and you're having zero flinch like that, you guys can see what type of advantage that brings, right? And hold on, chat. Guy behind here. Guy to my left. Dead. But you can see the type of advantage that brings. But like I said, if you're not using the Dravik SMG, and you're using any other SMG versus an AR, a sniper, a marksman rifle, whatever it is, you're going to lose. Not like basically again 90% of the time, because that's how weak they are. Whether that's from far, whether that's from close, you have the M15 beating you at close range. You have the SCAR that I'm using here, DXR beating you at close range. You have practically every other gun that's beating you at close range, right? And that's again one of the main negative points upon release, is that Activision just tweaked the SMGs into the ground. And you might ask, why is this a negative, right? Because now this creates a lack of diversity within the game, right? It's gonna prompt everyone to use a certain style and a certain group of weapons just based off of the effectiveness of the gun, right? So if I know the Dravik is basically gonna outrun you from short and long range, why would I want to use the DXR? Why would I want to use something like the M15? Why would I want to use the sniper, right? So at that point, not only are you facing scrutiny for the game since it came out, right, for a lot of various things, you're gonna face even more, because now you have all these creators coming out. Oh, here's the metal class, here is this, here is that, here's the only gun that you want to be using, right? It's just a negative rep for the game, chat, in my opinion, right? And don't get me wrong, for an example, ARs, they should be OP in certain aspects. At long range, I should be able to beat you, as long as I hit my shots, of course. I should be able to beat you at long to mid range with an AR, no matter what it is, no matter what the situation is. If I'm using an AR and we are in a mid to long range gunfight, I should not be losing to a Dravik or any SMG, right? That should, like, in any world, that should not be happening. So, but right now, what is happening is that an SMG like the Dravik, right, the only SMG that can do this, is beating me at a longer range compared to the M15, which is a full-on AR, right? Or let's say, for an example, the Peacekeeper, right? By the way, another horrible gun in the game. But something like that just creates a negative rep for the game, and that's just something that should not be happening. So that's what I would say as another negative. Weapon tuning, right? Weapon balancing and the way they approached fine-tuning guns in this game. So that's definitely one thing. If I was Treyarch Activision, I would address that in this next update here, in this next season 1 patch. Is the SMGs, of course, and then I would address the. Hold on, chat. We got a couple people here. Got one, two, finally helping. Run into a nade. But I would definitely address the SMGs. I would make it more fine-tuned, and I also address the flinch on snipers. Right. Two of the main things with gunplay that we're seeing here that I would say is definitely negatively impacting the game in some way, shape, or form. Right. Another thing, chat, that I want to point out, moving on from multiplayer, is the campaign. Right. And usually I play through the whole. Let me say this. I play the whole campaign, right? Year to year, every COD. I like to make it an objective and a mission to play the whole campaign, just for the sheer fact that I like to play all the game modes when CODs drop, right? And loading into campaign and loading into all these different missions made me realize the lack of effort that they truly put into that, right? Again, another major negative about this game, and my initial thoughts, right, letting it sit a little bit more and kind of reflecting on it a little bit more. Initially, I was like, it was getting a lot of backlash from the community. You see all over Twitter, people did not have nice words to say about the campaign. But naturally, I didn't kind of buy into that. I went into it myself, and I was like, okay, let me see what this is all about, right? And it did live up to what the community was talking about. Just COD put no effort, and it seemed like they didn't really care too much to make the campaign as intuitive, as immersive as it was known for in the previous years. And you could notice that it was just campaign, the mode specifically, was just getting a steep decline year to year. Less and less effort, less and less time was getting put into it. And this year, I feel like it's kind of at its breaking point in terms of the overall playability of the campaign. It's just not playable. It really is not. And I would say that at this point, obviously it's not savable. Obviously they can't change it or anything like that. It's already out. It already is what it is. But initially, and reflecting on it a little bit more, the campaign is probably one of the worst I've played in, I don't even know, probably the past 5 years. I would say. I would go as far as to say, just for the sheer lag. And a lot of people want to comment on the AI usage. We know that AI is at its all-time high right now. We all know that most likely AI is going to be used in some sort of fashion in these games that are going to be rolling out, whether that's in COD, whether that's whatever in any other title it is, it's going to be implemented. So that's not the main thing that is really impacting the game. The main thing is, or I should say campaign specifically, is their attention to detail and the energy they're putting into creating a good story. It's just not there anymore. Completely lackluster, right? And for zombies, to be honest with y'all, I have not dabbled into zombies too much. I've just played a small portion of zombies just to kind of test it out and see what it's like. But my main and last zombies was BO3. And the reason for that was just the simplicity of what it was. You load in round-based. You have all these well-designed, well-thought-out thorough maps, right? You can just go in there, and you can just go on a huge run. Nowadays, and I get it, right? A lot of the community would be like, if they were releasing to the same zombies every year and the same sort of content, they would be, why don't we change it up? Why is the same thing, right? You would have fatigue, right? You would have game fatigue, and you would have people just constantly nagging and complaining to COD, like they're kind of doing about multiplayer, right? We're seeing that more and more with multiplayer. Just their lack of innovation, right? That's making people stray away from it. You would have the same thing with zombies, but I feel like with that, you got to keep it as it originally is, round based. Create good maps, create a good flow to it, and that's just what it should be. But nowadays, I feel like there's just too much stuff happening in zombies, and there's so much little different caveats and little different things you got to pay attention to when you load in there. It does make it for a fun experience at times, but I just find myself mostly sitting there like, okay, what am I doing right here, right? Like, what is happening, right? I gotta do this challenge, and then, I'm fighting this beast, and then, it's to me, again, zombies, I have not really played too much of it, but my initial thoughts on the mode itself, it's not horrible. They have a decent amount of content in there, and the maps that came out at launch, right? And there's gonna be new ones that are gonna be dropping with the rollout of season 1. But with the initial rollout, right, and with the initial drop that they had, I'm not really too fond of it, and I just really don't see myself playing it too much over the next few weeks and over the cycle of BO7. So that's kind of where I'm at, chat, with my initial thoughts on BO7 so far. Multiplayer, I would say, again, it's not the best, but yet again, it's not the worst, right? The maps are good, gunplay is solid, but I feel like the community is giving it a little bit too much hate than what it deserves, in my personal opinion. The game plays well, flows well, movement is solid. It's solid. Again, I would have just took some things out and tweaked some things here and there. But apart from that, the game plays really well, right? Multiplayer wise, I'm referring to. The campaign, again, I just think it was probably one of the most lackluster jobs, and it just kind of displayed Activision's sort of laziness, right? And their just lack of thought into putting in a good product, you know, for us to play. And with the franchise that's been around for 15 plus years, 20 plus years, right, dating all the way back, you would think that, you know, they would put just a little bit more effort than what they did, and they did not. And that's what makes this game somewhat disappointing as well, you know. And that's why, from a community standpoint, that's why a lot of people are sort of rebelling from it, and they're not playing, right? And we've seen the numbers. It's not, COD is not seeing as good of success as it have seen in the past, excuse me, for those reasons, right? The lack of effort, the lack of intuitivity, the lack of creativity that they have presented in this year's title, I feel like it kind of warrants that reaction. So, but in my opinion, with the amount of hate that it is getting, I think there are some good things that this game has done in terms of multiplayer wise, that kind of balances it out in some way, right? I'm not saying all the way by any means, but I am saying that it is definitely something. It's definitely especially with this open. Again, another positive that I also would like to highlight is the open matchmaking. You know, and then we saw it in the beta. We saw them roll it out then, and I feel like just with the negative impact it's had and the negative image and reputation that skill-based matchmaking has scarred on to the community, it's not going to be this, you know, people's perception is not going to be the same as it was before. But with them with them adding this open matchmaking, it definitely makes me want to play the game a little bit more. It definitely gives me an incentive to hop on. And to be honest with y'all, I have not been wanting to play more and more regular core games, right? Game modes like hardcore like this, that's not ranked, since this COD. In the past CODs, I've always just want to, you know, when is rank coming out? I always wait until rank comes out. I would only really play core to level up guns, and that would really be it. And then I would get on rank, because every single time I'd get on pubs, it always feel like I'm playing rank. So I was like, might as well just wait until rank comes out and just play rank within itself, and just not play the game at all. And just, you know what I'm saying? I would stray away from it more. But with this open matchmaking, I feel like it was a huge positive in what they had did, and I personally find myself loading this game up more and more because of that fact. And again, it's not to say that it boosts this game in terms of its credibility and in terms of, you know what I'm saying, it just changes how the whole perception of it. But it definitely, it's an added plus, and it's something that kind of makes this game a little bit more playable, a little bit more fun in that aspect. So again, chat, that's basically my initial thoughts on this game. Let me know if you guys have any other varying comments, discussion points, anything of that sort. So make sure you guys drop it down below in the comment section. But we're just gonna continue and go ahead with this gameplay. I think I'm kind of frying, chat, 22-10. But like I said, man, if you guys have your own opinions, own thoughts, please be sure to share it down below in the comment section. I'm more than willing to have open discussions with you guys, and to kind of talk about it. And you guys share your opinions, I share my opinion. And we can kind of discuss on what COD can improve on, what can be done in the next titles that's going to be released in the next year or so, and what things like its competitor like Battlefield is doing, right? We had the Battlefield 6 drop, obviously came out a little bit before BO7 did, and we know the success that it is having, BO6. So like I said, chat, Make sure you guys let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. As well, man, I see a lot of y'all that are viewing my videos that are subscribing, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. If you guys are brand new, we're on the road to monetization here on YouTube, and on the road to 10K subscribers. So if you guys are new, drop that subscribe for your boy, man. Make sure y'all like the video as well. I'd appreciate it a lot. It means the world to me, guys. So as well, check out the Twitch, man. We live every single day on there, chat. We're doing a challenge on there. We're doing stream every single day. Right, we're not skipping a day, chat. We're currently on day 15 at the time of recording this video. So if you guys have not followed the Twitch as well, we're on the road to affiliate over there. Make sure you guys stop by the Twitch. It's linked in the bio of this channel, as well as my TikTok. So make sure y'all go on, head over there, drop your boy a follow, man. Every single day we live over there. But yeah, man. Someone around the corner here. We don't talk about that aim, chat. We don't talk about that aim. Oh man, we are dominating these guys.
Hard point located.
On the corner here. Get him. I'm gonna go mid here, chat. They quit. They only got 4 people, chat. They don't want the smoke like that. I don't know what this guy's waiting for. I don't know what that guy's waiting for, chat. And that'll do it, man. 250 to 74, 27 and 15. Not too shabby, not too shabby. If I probably focused a little bit more, I probably would have gotten some more kills. But yeah, man, that's going to do it for today's video, chat. If you guys did enjoy, again, man, make sure y'all like this video. Comment down below. Again, let's have a little discussion. Let's have a little talk in the comment sections about what you guys think about this game so far. We're about 3 weeks in. Let me know what you guys' rank. Let me know if you guys are even running this game at all. If you guys are on Battlefield, whatever the case may be, let me know in the comment sections down below. Subscribe if you are brand new to the channel, man. And I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.